Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy. Today we're looking at the Bronco Sport Big Bend with the Black Diamond package. I'll include a link to the Super Ford's website in the description down below. They're providing us with this Bronco Sport. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a turbo 1.5 liter 3-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy is 25 around town, 30 on the highway, with power outputs being 181 horsepower and then 190 pound-feet of torque. Now I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. It massively helps out the channel and it's completely free. This one's finished in the cool sand color and you've got raised sections there on either side of the hood. Just like the Big Brother Bronco, it's got the circular headlight design. And you can't actually see the Bronco logo there in the center because of the bull bar on the front end. But anyways, we got fog lights and you notice that we actually have some front end protection, which is pretty cool. And so this gives the baby Bronco a more aggressive appearance. Our tire and wheel setup is 225 by 65 by 17. So not massive, but aggressive enough. I like a little tie down point here on the exterior of the new Bronco. It's kind of a cool feature to have. Big Bend logo. And the new baby Bronco still has a very boxy design like the big Bronco. When it comes to the key fob, we've got the Bronco logo there on the back. We have our lock and unlock function, pretty basic setup. Now if I press this button right here, it'll actually open up the glass in the rear, so you got that nice access point. And then if I press this, that'll open up the whole hatch setup. So this one has the partition shelf from the factory. You also have an outlet back here and a 12 volt. And for such an itty bitty crossover, because of the boxy design, it's got quite a bit of vertical space and just space in general. I like how the taillights wrap around there, and then of course Bronco Sport in the center. And look at those aggressive recovery points of that piece of metal. So yeah, when you put it all together, the Black Diamond package adds some cool off-road stuff to the exterior. Let's now pop inside. Nice soft touch here on the door panel, just kind of like a rugged look in general. Legroom back here is pretty good. You got little holders here in the back. We also have vents for the rear passengers. And I do think these seats are pretty nice with the trim. The kind of two-tone coloration is pretty cool. It's actually kind of like a vinyl trim in the center section here as well. And then with the boxy design, you've got tons of headroom here in the back. Let's now check out the front. More really nice soft touch trim here. You've got all of our window controls. The mirrors are power adjustable. We also have blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. This thing has more payload than a Wrangler, 916 pounds. And then again, really nice trim here on the front seat. It actually is power adjustable with lumbar support. And then we've got all of our light controls off to the side, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. And let's pop it on. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got soft touch all around with the Bronco horse there in the center. We've got adaptive cruise control with your lane centering, volume controls on the one side, and then controls for the center stack and phone controls on the other side. Nice digital gauge cluster, which we can use to scroll through different menus to see different bits of info on systems within the little baby Bronco. And then your drive modes will also pop up here. We have modes for both on-road and off-road use. Backup camera in reverse, and the resolution with the camera is actually really good. Now the infotainment system in this new Bronco is massive. You've got your climate controls here at the bottom, dual zone climate. We also have heated seats built in with this. And if we press this little home screen button, it'll pull it on that tab. But yeah, there's a bunch of different menus that you can scroll through, and the overall response time with the screen is great, and so it's a great, easy system to use. There are some physical controls for stuff like auto stop start, your defroster, stability control for the camera system, volume control as well. This comes with a wireless phone charging pad and some USB ports. We also have a dial shifter, got your parking brake behind that, auto hold. Then we have our GOAT mode select dial as well. Nice trim in the center console, pretty good storage space inside with that. And then you actually have 4 auxiliary switches up top to add different items. Bronco Sport Big Bend. So the Black Diamond package is $2,570, $35,385 is the total MSRP. Let's see how it performs. Bronco Sport, and of course it tells us that we're on 0. That's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes. Wish me luck, right? So I've reviewed the Badlands and even the new Badlands Sasquatch, which I think that Badlands Sasquatch is a pretty, I don't think they have one here by the way right now, but I think the Badlands Sasquatch is pretty cool. However, that thing's almost $50,000. Who can afford to spend almost $50,000 on a Bronco Sport? A few people, not a lot of people though. Not a lot of people. So I think that this Big Bend with the Black Diamond package is going to be a nice way to go for a lot of people. One of my friends actually just bought one of these. So, you know, it gives you some of the off-road stuff from the Sasquatch. That is too loud. Gives you some of the off-road capability from the Badlands and from the Sasquatch, but not all of it. But from my understanding, you can still fit slightly larger tires than what this has. So So you can make it a little bit more capable. And they also offer a little, I'm pretty sure it's with the Ford dealers, there's a factory lift kit. Like, Ford offers a lot of accessories, but I'm pretty sure there's a lift kit you can get with these too. Because my other friend has one on his. So like, you could make this more aggressive, that's what I'm trying to say, than what it is already, and still be significantly less money than what you would be with buying either a Badlands or a Sasquatch. You don't get the cool twin clutch locker system with that, but you still get a nice little affordable 4x4. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, 3-cylinder itself is definitely going to be a peaky engine, but you know, it's pretty economical and helps out the affordability. Sounds kind of cool though too. It's not like the engine noise is not too crazy. It's the turbo noise that's kind of fun. I do like how the Bronco Sports go over bumps. Like, the dampening with these is actually pretty good. Not as good as the new Sasquatch. The new Sasquatch has rear remote reservoirs, and it's pretty darn comfortable, but this still does really well for what is basically just a beefed up Ford Escape at the end of the day. Yeah, I will say the torque is quite impressive. Do any of you have anxiety, by the way, right now, since I'm running on 0? I always wonder that. Seats are pretty comfortable, so I think that's a positive. And I love how much room, like, so much headroom in this thing because of the boxy design. This kind of reminds me of Mini Coopers, where it's not that big of a vehicle, but like, you can fit in it really well because of how it's designed. It's kind of what the Bronco Sport is. And I actually wonder, like, how many people, I wonder if there's any people that have left Mini for these, because believe it or not, I've seen people do some off-road builds with Minis, and this is obviously kind of like more off-roady from the factory, so I wonder. I definitely wonder. Man, it is getting hot in here with no climate controls, but got to maximize my range because I don't know how much gas we actually have in here. I think overall the Bronco Sport is really cool. Here's my only beef, and I have the same beef with the Maverick. I think that Ford released a really cool concept. I think they just made it too expensive. So my personal take, and here's the thing is, if the pricing was at this point, like, these would be sold out. So this package should be like, all the Bronco Sports decreasing MSRP by like $10,000. I know it's a lot of money, but if we look at the pricing scheme and drop everything by $10,000, this would be 25 grand. Okay, 25 grand for something that is some level of off-road capability, the space this has, the feel. I mean, like, you're comparing to a Honda Civic at that point, which again, I feel like that's what a lot of people actually do, believe it or not, is they compare to like economy cars like Civics and Corollas and stuff. But anyways, 25 grand, you get that, and then that means that a Badlands or the Sasquatch package would be like 36, 37. That's a lot of money, but the capability that it offers, then it'd be super, because then you're looking at Subaru Forester Wilderness pricing. Then in my opinion, it's like super appealing. So I think that's kind of where things should sit for my take. I think this is a great car. I think they just priced it a little bit too high, because at this point it's so close in price to a full-size Bronco that a lot of people are gonna be like, why not get the real thing? Why not get a base model Wrangler? Right? Jeep has a really Off-Road Plus on their new Wranglers, really good traction control system. Why not get the thing that has solid axles and everything? So I think that this is a really cool concept. I think that Ford just needs to bring the pricing down a bit, make it a little bit more affordable, and then it'd be really, like, honestly, if I could get a Badlands Sasquatch for $37,000, I would be, I don't need one. I would be tempted to rock one of those, because at like sub $40,000, that would be such a cool car to daily drive and to take down some, you know, not crazy trails, but to take down some trails. But when it's almost 50 grand, it's like, I want to get a real Bronco if I'm going to spend almost that much. So let me know your thoughts.